Today I'm feeling much better. Um, I'm out here in my backyard and I was enjoying the weather here in Georgia. It's nice and sunny, and I'm out here with the dog just taking in the view. I don't stay in the sun a lot because you don't want to get skin burn, even though they say black people don't get it, but we do. I was pondering and thinking about my life, and sometimes I get discouraged because I felt like there was so much obstacles that I'm put forth in my way to succeed. I want to talk about coming to Georgia was the biggest. I wouldn't say it's a mistake anymore. There was a reason that I came, not only for my mother, but also I was a workaholic in Philadelphia, and I didn't spend time with my kids. And so coming to Georgia in a different environment. When I say different, this is extremely different. It's I know a lot of people when they think of Georgia, they think of Atlanta. Atlanta is busy, but where I'm at, it's not all of Atlanta. That I'm on the outskirt, which is very quiet most of the time. Um, Secluded. It's a lot of greenery. That's what I like about Georgia. I'll tell you some of the things I like about Georgia, and I'm very verbal about what I don't like, and I'll let you know. And peaceful. I like it here. I like the peace. The peace. Nobody bothered me because I'm not next to anybody to bother me. In Philadelphia, I was kind of confined. I had a house, but it was, a townhouse, and next to you, I was at the end, so next to you were other houses. I left right across Franklin Mills Mall. I could just walk across the street to the mall in Philadelphia. What I like about Georgia, that's what I like. I like the peace. I like to be by myself. Lately, I think the best time that I'm able to feel good about myself is when I'm by myself most of the time. So coming to Georgia for that was a good thing. If the only thing I don't, these are the things that I don't like about Georgia. What I, sorry, let me tell you what I like. I told you a few things I like. I do like the weather, even in the winter. We might get a cold spur, maybe a snow, and you know what happens when there's a snowstorm? Nobody can drive in it, and it's just chaotic. I like the fact that, hmm, nobody bother you basically. To me, what I don't like about Georgia, the pay. As a nurse, I think the pay is lousy. I don't like that when I do find a job in Georgia, there's a lot of there's a mother and a daughter and a sister and a brother, uncle and aunt all working at the same job. That's not good. That's not good. I don't like that. I remember one incident when I was in charge of a lower level employee, a tech in the psych field, and his mother was my boss. And he would come in late every day, and that would just annoy me. But I could not say anything. And when I did, it was just brushed off because she's an administrative. I think that's not good. That's one of the things, the biggest thing that would, that's why I want to go, but I'm hesitant, is the pay. I don't feel I should travel all the time to work when I live in Georgia. And if you do travel, you have to still pay Georgia taxes. Even though you work in California, you work in Michigan, you work in Alabama. No, please, I wouldn't work in Alabama because that's southern. I can imagine the pay. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, Philadelphia. I still has to come home and pay the taxes here. And the main thing about Georgia is, I'll give you a little example. When I was in Philadelphia, if my light bill is $100, I could go to them and said, I'll give you $50 now, and I'll pay the other 50 when I get my check. In Georgia, $100, you better pay that $100 because they're gonna cut off your lights. You better pay that mortgage on time. They're gonna throw your stuff out on the street and people just come and take it. Not up north. You could stay there, you could pay that, and then next you pay the $50. You cannot save money here. I cannot save a penny here. Ask anybody. But up north, because we were able to juggle a paycheck, we could put a lot aside, $25, and see it build up. Here, no, they want the $200 for the light bill right away. It's you're gonna get it cut off, and when it cut off, you gotta pay the amount plus another $100 fee. So I don't see how people can get ahead here in the South. Those are the issues, the main issues I have with living here. Other than that, the people, they're, I'll be honest with you, fake. Fake. If you watch Love and Hip Hop, those are the type of people you may encounter. Now, if you meet somebody they don't, it's always a riff. This one living, you're from the north and you think you better than us. I am a Georgia peach, they'll say, born and raised here. They act, the people, your friends will be the people from the north. They more liberal. Some of the people, and I was amazed that the people here in Georgia, I was amazed, has never flown a plane, has never left Georgia. That was mind blowing for me. That was eye opening for me. And I came in one day, I was at home. I was going through a difficult time in my life with my relationship. I had just, the kid's father, he he had hurt himself, injured himself at work. So he was home, and I decided, since I was already an RN, I said, why don't you go to school and become a nurse? Sometimes, ladies, don't encourage your man to go nowhere to uplift himself. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but some people may say, I'm a woman that's scorned. I'm not a woman that's scorned no more, but I felt scorned. As soon as he graduated as a nurse, he bought himself a brand new car, and he went with another woman, a younger girl, younger lady. He left me, yes. And so I was known all over Philadelphia. I was a workaholic. So I work in every facility, every hospital. I've been there, nursing home. I'm the type of woman, ask anybody that nurse that know me. I know how to juggle a dollar. I know how to get around, create money. I was talking to them about dividend reinvestment program. I know all about that. So I was good with money. I was good work. I was a workaholic. So every facility, every supervisor, they know me. So one day, and I would often ignore it, and they would tell me, Patrice, are you sure he living with you? And I say, yeah, he living with me. I see him every night. And they say, I don't think so. That's not the number I call when I call him. This I haven't been at that nursing home, but he went to work there. And then the administrator called me and was, I guess they feel sorry for me because most of the time when I was working, trying to get him to school, he was driving my car while I am taking the bus at night coming home. Some nights I would stay at the Philadelphia bus stop for 16 hours waiting for him to pick me up, and he wasn't working. And he had the nice car that I was paying for, and he had the nice clothes that I was paying for. Yeah, you might say I'm a fool. I guess I was a fool in love. And so one day, my son don't want me to say it, but I know it was him who he was running errands. He was delivering newspaper, and he found out. He opened one of the person that opened the door was his dad, and a little girl came out, little baby, and he told me about it, and I got the address, and I went there, and I knocked on the door, and he told me, get away from my house, get away. And the little girl opened the door first, and he didn't know I was out. Then he came and he get her back in, and he told me to leave. And I left, and while I was going out, you know how you look out the window? He looked out the window and he spit. And I felt my self-esteem went down when he spit, like you saying, here dog, why you coming to my house? This is how I feel about you. He spit, get the hell out of here. That's what he said. Get away from me. I went back home, and the kids were little, and I said, I'm not the type. I may act depressed sometimes, but I can see ahead. I always have to have plan B in place. I said, okay. See, when they were telling me that he was leaving, he has another place, I'm thinking he's at Atlantic City because he loved to go to Atlantic City and gamble. So after I found out and I saw him in person, there was a little girl I found out he was dating somebody at the nursing home who had kids. It wasn't his kids. He doesn't have any kid. He only have my 3 kids. And so, but he didn't marry me. Thank God. So one day, while I was a little depressed, because I felt like a woman that's scorned, I went through a lot. I sent him to school and motivate him. He was cleaning the floors when I met him. And he was cleaning the floors at the hospital. Don't laugh. But it happened to many a woman. I said, I know that my sister and my mother was in Georgia. And so I've never drove. And after he left me, I just, for spite, just to build up my self-esteem and make him feel that, oh, she doing good, I bought the most expensive car. I didn't know how I could afford it, an Acura. I didn't really want such an expensive car, but it represents to me that I have achieved something and he wouldn't look at me bad. Um, so I did. I got in my car that weekend. I said, I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to find out what is so enticing about Georgia. I drove there one weekend by myself. I had my navigation. My navigation was my confidence. Turn here. Make a left. You turn. Destination on your right. That's my navigation. That was my confidence. And got to Atlanta. I met the family, mother and everybody. So they enticed me. Come to First of all, when I pull up in Atlanta, I think it was Decatur, my sister left. And I looked around and I saw all those huge big house, 3 acres lot my sister was living in. I said, damn, who live here? Did you marry a doctor? A lawyer? An engineer? An actor? She said, no, I'm just an average Joe working 9 to 5. Like, the houses are pretty. Girlfriend, don't let that pull you into Georgia, please. It can pull you out, pull you in, but you may not be able to get out. A lot of people coming in and out of Atlanta and a lot of people leaving. So they encouraged me and I came here and I went back to Philadelphia. They thought I was crazy. I'm moving to Atlanta. They told me, don't go, don't go. My administrator, the nursing supervisor, everybody, don't go, don't go, don't leave. But I decided I want to come here. I want to get that feeling. I want to feel good too. And I came here and I came to my sister's house. And I had a business going in Philadelphia, a nursing agency. And I thought I would continue here because this is the black mega. They say black mega business, black people do good in Georgia. Anyway, I came here and I came to stay at my sister. And you know how people welcome you, but you can also see that they want you to get ready to go. And I had my little daughter at the time. The other 2 kids were still in Philadelphia, but I didn't want to mess with them. School, Tiffany, her school didn't start. She was little, so I could able to not let her go to school for a while. And they were showing me face that I need to leave their house, and I don't know anybody in Georgia. I didn't get my license in Georgia yet. And nothing was planned. I just came, and I have to go. And then I end up in Columbus, and I stayed here, and I traveled, and I got a job at Georgia Regional Hospital, and they told me this is the place for me. And I stayed here for a while, and then I got the travel bug because the money. One thing about Georgia, it's hot out here. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. You come in with debt. You need to clear up your debt before you come to live in Georgia because the money ain't good and it's going to be hard for you to struggle. But luckily, I had a house and I was renting it, so I was able to survive. But that's my advice for people. So I decided to look for a house because when the people in my sister, that was her husband, he told me I could stay at the house because he's a truck driver. When she found out I was there, she convinced him to get rid of me or told me to find my own place. He didn't charge me a fee even though I was actually cleaning, keeping the house safe because they keep breaking in. And if they know somebody was there, and I had a huge dog at the time, I was keeping him safe, keeping his house from home invasion. But when they found out I was there, she kind of pressured him to get rid of me. And so at that time, I said, I got to find a place. And I went to a realtor. I got to find. And when I came to this house, I didn't even go inside the house. You know how you make a decision? I know I need a place to make a decision based on what's inside the house. I made my decision based on this. 3+ acres. I said, we can always fix the house, but the backyard, peace, greenery, that's what I wanted. I needed the peace because I came from chaotic situation in Philadelphia and distress, and I need to build myself up, build my self-esteem back up. And so I took this house, and I'm here. Stay tuned. I talk a long time. I'm sorry. Stay tuned tomorrow for part two.